Good morning, everyone. I am quickly hopping on to do yet another video. We had a bit of technical difficulties last night, and some people just mentioned they struggled to hear what I was saying, and I kept freezing. So here goes. Last night I shared my heart behind the God Adventure, which is my new online course that I've put together, and it is really at the core of it is exploring the heart of God through journaling. And I shared a bit about why journaling has meant so much to me. And I will quickly do that here. I don't want to go into major detail, but ever since I first heard that I could hear the voice of God back in 2010, it was like this. I didn't even realize then, but something in me knew that his voice was a treasure. And I would write down everything, every prophetic word I got from other people, these quotes that I found in books that I was reading, and scriptures that were really standing out to me. And the more I started to write down and sit with the Lord, the more he unpacked his heart for me. And, John 15 talks about, I no longer call you slaves but friends, and friends know what their master is doing. And they really, that space of friendship with God was something that my heart just longed for. I longed for that intimacy with God, and journaling was something that really unlocked that space for me. And I just noticed through a season that he started showing me 333 everywhere. And I looked up in scripture. Usually I go to scripture if I start to see a series of numbers, and it was Jeremiah 33:3. And it's ask of me and I will show you great and mighty things you do not know. And so I started asking him questions, and he would invite me to actually ask him certain questions. And in that, it was like this adventure that started where it was almost like a connect the dots, or like, joining the X's, going to the next X on the spot of a treasure map. And it became this thing that I got addicted to. I got addicted to know what was on his heart. And the more that I explored his heart and got to know him, because this is what it was all about. Journaling is not journaling for the sake of just writing stuff down. It was because I needed to know his heart. And once I knew that I had access to that, I was hooked. It was the thing that drove me. When I started, getting to know him in such a beautiful way, in return, I started to know myself, and he started to speak stuff over me. And I found I came up against a lot of unbelief in that time. He would say stuff and it just did not feel real. And after, during my time at Bethel, for those who don't know, I did Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry. And in that time, it was like intimacy went to a whole new level with the Lord. And he started teaching me how to process pain and process disappointment and unbelief and all those kind of not so fun things, and the things we do tend to hide from the Lord because we don't think it's appropriate to bring that stuff into our secret place. But I've learned the beauty of vulnerability before the Lord, but also to write it down and to remember those moments where his love and his truth apprehended me and really set me free. And sometimes it was a process. Sometimes it felt like it was going around the mountain for months on this thing. But his kindness and his love and his determination to show me who he truly was and who I was in the light of that became these memorial stones for me. Joshua, when the Israelites crossed into the promised land, it said each elder from the 12 tribes was to take a stone and create a stones of remembrance. And every time they saw that, they would be reminded of this crossing, the supernatural crossing. And for me, these testimonies of where God met me in my lowest moment, or where God met me on my mountaintop moment, became these incredible stones of remembrance. And after I got back from Bethel, they became my lifelines. David talks about, your word I have treasured in my heart. And I literally, it was like reading his words to me, his encouragement and just what I'd been learning in scripture they were lifelines. As I love the Bible. I love reading the Word. He unpacked scripture for me in such a profound way, and writing it down was something that it was like the key for me to unlock more. And so this is where the God Adventure really came out of. I started seeing 308 everywhere, and I was reminded of a book that I'd read of Bill Johnson's, actually, and he started seeing that number everywhere, and he went and he found that it was in Isaiah 30 verse 8, and I'm going to read it from the Passion Translation because this is really the foundation of why I felt to do this course. It says, God told me to write down in a book words meant for the coming generation as an eternal witness. I mean, when I first heard it, I was like, wow, is that God? Is that what you see my journaling as? An eternal witness for coming generations? And that just put such a weighty spin on it. The value, I really treasured his word, but it's this gold, it's this thing that is so precious. He is precious. He is our prize. He is the great reward. And I really felt the Lord wasn't wanting me to invite other people in to this space of learning how to use journaling for this very reason, to get to know him, to learn to hear his voice. There are so many things and hindrances to intimacy that I came up against, and I've walked through, and the Lord has given me tools for that. And I really believe that what I have for people is really going to set you free. And we're going to deal with mindsets and beliefs around intimacy, but also your ability to hear the Lord, your ability to process moments in your life that have given you a false narrative. And once you give Jesus your yes, it's an all-in thing. And he, in 2016, in my first year, he asked for my heart. And a lot of people, when I share that story, go, oh yeah, but I gave my heart to the Lord when I got saved. I was like, no, you gave your life to the Lord. Giving your heart to him is really a process, because it's in this place of learning and growing in trust with him and developing our history with him that we give parts of ourselves that we hold back from him because of shame, pain, disappointment. There are a whole lot of reasons, and we're going to go after those, because my heart is for your freedom. My heart is for you to know that you have an all-access VIP pass into the Father's heart. You have as much place as I do to be in his heart. He has called us friends, and that is just the most profound truth, that we are his friend. And so I am running it's a 30-day online course called the God Challenge, and the God Adventure, and it won't be like my challenge that I ran last time, where it'll be every night we're going to be doing a live teaching. This is going to be a 30-day journey. I want to say off the bat, I'm not wanting to give a formula on how to do intimacy with the Lord. That is so personal. The Lord meets us in such personal, intimate ways. But I have very real, practical activations that are going to stimulate you to engage with the Lord. And we're going to go after, as I mentioned, those things that hinder that intimacy, and how to process it out and journal it out, because these are going to be, like the scripture said, they're going to be an eternal witness for a coming generation. Who knows what's in your journals for your legacy and your inheritance? Who is going to be blessed by the things that the Lord shares, and your breakthroughs, because your breakthroughs are not just your own, they are for others. And I feel like we are going into a time in this earth where we are going to need people who know God's heart and can speak truth and love in a way that is so profound and carry such power and authority and breakthrough that is going to set so many people free. And I believe that you are part, your story and your testimony is part of that. And if you don't believe that, then you need to be on this course, because I'm going to fiercely go after this truth with you, and because I know it's the Lord's heart for you to know how valuable you are to him, not just for not even about what you do, but just who you are. And so it starts on Monday, the 7th of November, and we will and it will run until the 5th of December. I am going to leave all the teachings and activations and all of that up until the end of the year, just because I know it is a busy time of year, and I feel like it's beautiful if you have time in the holidays, you have some rest time to go back and do those activations. I'm so aware that, you know, there is pressure at the end of the year, but I also am inviting you to come and track with me and to go through this process. The Lord has really given me such a beautiful process around how to go about this and unlock this thing. And so, yeah, we are going to do that. There will be live teachings and some pre-recorded teachings. We are probably looking at 2 live recordings a week, which are not compulsory. You can watch them. There will always be replays. And on the days that you don't have a teaching, we're going to do some activations. So some practical journaling, things for you to journal out with the Lord. And yeah, we'll also do weekly encounter times where I will do a guided encounter with you, and you will get to journal that afterwards. There will be some fun out of the box things, but we're also going to go deep, and we're going to hit the hard places. And I really, if you are longing for greater intimacy and you are longing to hear the Lord's voice, then you need to do this. I am so convinced that you are going to walk away just so in love with the Lord. And also, I don't even know how to put it down in words, but you're going to have the confidence. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. The confidence to boldly approach his throne of grace, that you're going to know that you are welcome there, and that there's no question off limits. There's no pain too deep. There's no shame that the Lord's presence and his love can't just strip you of. And so the cost for this course is 250 Rand. That is a steal. It's my introductory launch price. It will not be that price next year. So I really recommend that you make advantage of this. I am also I'm putting together a guidebook. So you will actually have a practical guidebook that will have summaries of the teachings, key scriptures, key things to note, as well as practical activations. It will be in PDF form that you can either print out or just use as a side for your journey, your own journal. And that basically is the sum of it. We are gonna do some really, really fun practical things. I'm quite excited because when I sat down to make this course, I went through my own journals with the Lord, and just seeing the questions I'd asked and the questions he'd have me ask, or the ways that he had unpacked stuff, I'm really excited to share with you all. So it's 250 Rand. I am going to send out a post. If you want more information, you're welcome to message me and I will email you details, but my email address is sarah.819tribe@gmail.com. That's Sarah with an H .819tribe@gmail.com. I hope to see you on this course. I'm really, really excited. And yeah, just thank you for listening, and I will chat to you all soon. Bye.